I cannot pretend that I'm not reading what I'm reading in the Bible and make myself feel better. I can't pretend that the Bible's saying something just because I want it to say that, and just because I'm struggling in an area and I don't have the full manifestation of what Scriptures is describing as a saved person, that I'm going to twist the Scriptures to make myself feel better. We give it to the ear. We give it to the man with the ear very sharply, very hard. This ministry is small. And we do not have a wide, gigantic, prolific audience because the hard truth is hard to swallow and accept. The hard truth is hard, and I can barely accept it myself. It's hard for me to accept the truth sometimes because it is smacking me in the face, and the reality is you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to be saved, period. Simple as that. If I was to be judged right now, I don't think I would go to heaven, period. I believe that. I believe I'm in jeopardy because of my actions, because of how I'm living, because of my attitude, because of the uncleanness and the impurities that I still struggle with. I haven't cut my right hand off. I talk about it a lot. I talk about cutting my right hand off a lot. But have I really done it? I think I've been close a couple of times. I think I have lived like that before, and I remember being closer to God. I remember overcoming seemingly impossible situations when I was taking those teachings to my heart and walking in them. Walking in them. Not just knowing about it in my mind. But let me show you something here with the maimed part. All right, so let's go real quickly to that, if you don't mind. I'm interested in seeing it again myself. And I want to just kind of go, what does he mean by this then? Because if it's just metaphorical, why would Jesus come back and say this? How does it fit in with the other ones that seem to be more metaphorical? I mean, surely Jesus is not really teaching us to literally go cut our hand off, is he? No. I would think initially, no, of course not. I don't think so. All right, let's look at that real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm almost there. So Jesus, verily, verily, I say to you, except a person be converted and become like little children, he shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. That's not it. Oh, it goes down to 9. So we're talking about entering. Look. He starts off in context in Matthew 18. He's talking about entering into the kingdom of heaven. He's talking about being converted. It's the same thing he said in John. Just the translators are using the word converted here. Jesus is talking about being born again in John chapter 3. It's the same thing. He says you cannot see heaven, you cannot enter heaven in John 3 unless you're born again. Here, he's saying converted. Converted. Now, verse 8. Wherefore, if thy right hand or foot offend thee, cut it off. Same thing in Matthew 5:30. This is Matthew 18. You get a little bit different perspective on it. He says it again, but there's a little bit different angle to it here. I might even start using this one instead of Matthew 5:30. It's the same thing, but we get something a little different in this part of the Bible. What is that difference? Well, we'll see here in a second. Cut off your right hand, cast it from you. It's better to enter, which we're doing right now in this world. It's better to enter into life, halt or maimed. It's better to enter into life maimed rather than having 2 hands and 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire. That's later. Later is the consequence. Now is the entrance. The entrance or the consequence. Or entering into life now. A great multitude came to him, having with them the lame, the blind, the dumb, and the maimed. It's just a cross-reference to the word maimed here, that Jesus is talking about physically being maimed. Jesus is talking about physically being maimed and saying it's better to physically maim yourself. Now, I'm not telling you to go do this. Jesus is. Okay?